Ladies and gentlemen, the Adult Baby Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Adult Babies Podcast, episode 232. I am B.
I'm Chic.
And I'm Chris.
Ooh.
What's up,
Yeah,
everybody?
live in person.
He's
What's
back.
happening? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Chris.
boys.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Look at this. The old
good to
gang
see
is
you.
The
back
old
together.
gang is back. I thought you were done for good. I thought you were gone.
No, I love you guys. I would never
Yeah.
do that.
No, I know. No, I just thought you were gone for I didn't know if you would ever come back.
Yeah, we didn't know.
No, I still theoretically live here, so
Well,
You have dual
Theoretically.
residency now, no?
I don't yet.
I thought
No.
you did.
I have an apartment that I'm locked into for a year in Serbia.
Okay.
Getting residency is a process, and hopefully by the time we land back in Serbia in January, I'll have it.
Oh, nice.
But I don't currently.
So not officially.
Not
okay.
officially.
All right.
But yes, I'm
You're in the process.
in the process.
All right.
And it's quite the process.
I'm sure it is.
Do you think it's harder to get citizenship in Serbia than it is in America?
No, I'm not going for.
What's harder,
citizenship. I
getting
just want
citizenship
residency.
or getting a sentence out from Chick?
A sentence from Chick? No, America's is tough. But I'm not going for citizenship, just residency. Just
all right.
proving that I live there for a year. That's it. They want $80 and a ton of paperwork. That's it.
That's it? That's
Yeah.
He literally
No,
can't
it's
get.
actually it's the sentence from Chick. It's harder.
It's relatively cheap.
No, it's cheap. It's the process. that-
paperwork?
It's
Is
hard. Yeah.
Listen, paperwork
And
is
you gotta
always
hire
a problem.
lawyer because you can't figure that out on your own.
No.
So our lawyer's awesome,
Nice.
Serbian,
Nice.
and
He, she.
she, and
Ooh.
she's super nice. We go out for drinks with her sometimes. She's awesome,
Interesting.
and she rocks it for us. We got denied from a bank,
Mm.
and she researched 1,000 banks in Serbia and found one for us.
Really?
Yeah.
What? No bank in Serbia was
They don't
taking you
They don't
guys?
like Americans very much.
Yeah.
Because
Is that what it is?
It's not just that they don't like us very much. As an American, the bank has to take on extra work because we're one of the few countries in the world that even when you move away and you're a resident of somewhere else, you still have to pay taxes in America. So the banks in foreign countries have to fill out extra paperwork for you every month.
Ugh.
And so they just rather not do that.
All right.
I'm on their side.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
I kind of understand.
I can't
wouldn't
blame
wanna do
them.
it.
When they denied us, she was like, "This is such an unfortunate thing. I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Yeah, no, I wouldn't have taken us either."
Yeah, I got
So
it. I
it's-
got it. You're working at a bank over here, and then
I wouldn't want to do the
And you
the
gotta
extra
fucking
paperwork
fill out
either.
forms, but not only fill out forms, but fill out forms in our language and
every month.
every month.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a disaster.
So what has been going on? The last we left you, you were here, and you kind of disappeared. You were in.
Supposed to be here for 2 months, from August 3rd or whatever I got here to the end of September, and then I left abruptly in the last week of August, and I was dealing with a lot of mental health issues,
Okay.
and probably not in the best way, and it was easier to leave than address that here. It was easier to leave and address it sort of by myself and with Kira and just living the life that we've lived for the past 2.5 years than doing it here where I think a lot of the mental health issues were coming from here.
The podcast.
Yeah, specifically Brendan's apartment.
Me and Chick.
I come
Chris.
here and it just...
Our mental
brings
health
up-
issues have
Yeah.
seeped onto Chris.
Yeah.
If
We
you remember when I
basically-
started, I was the normal one, and now it's...
Yeah. You were the young and aspiring young guy.
No, things
just-
were looking up, and then
Yeah,
I met you
and
guys,
then
and it was
we
like...
That's what happens.
brought you back down.
Yeah,
We take over you.
that's it. So, yeah, it got... I'll
If we don't have to
I
get
was
into
gonna
it.
save this for not the Christmas episode.
No,
but
we don't
maybe
have to get
it's
into
the-
this.
It
I'm just
got
trying to
dark.
This
figure-
is not
I'll say
technically the
this.
Christmas episode.
Yeah, this
because
isn't
we
the
will
Christmas
record
episode.
before Christmas.
Okay. Yeah, it got dark.
Yeah, let's get dark.
This
I'm not
was,
unless you want to.
So background on me, and I don't talk about myself much on this. I don't think. I had a lot of mental health issues from like 15 to 17.
Mm-hmm.
Like bad. I was like an emo kid, which was common for my generation age, and I didn't deal with my parents got divorced, and that was rough, and there was a lot of shit connected to that really affected me, and that it took a while to get through that. And I think I did get through it to an extent. And then for some reason last year, shit just started coming up like in my brain that I couldn't control the rate that they were coming up. And I think that I was irrationally having these like anxiety attacks, not from anything that was happening now, but from like a projection of childhood onto adulthood. And I started going to therapy online. There's a service called BetterHelp. They don't sponsor this.
Huh?
They don't sponsor this podcast, but they sponsor every other podcast.
Yeah. I know BetterHelp. Yeah,
So,
I've heard about this.
I
think Neil
through
Rubenstein
a
does.
discount, I got on that. and I
Wait,
started-
you used a podcast
I used
discount?
I used the podcast.
Who's the podcast?
Tim Dillon.
Tim Dillon.
Yeah.
All right, give Tim Dillon. The last thing he needs is money, but
Yeah, he's all right without it. I signed up skeptically, and I was like, I really need to talk to someone. who
Was
knows.
this when you were down here?
This was before, so I'll get to that.
Okay, all right.
So this was like in June.
Mm.
Because I was really struggling, and I didn't know why. Right, I was just like, life was good, but I was not happy, and
So this, I just want to clarify.
Yeah.
So this you're saying is before you came home.
please
so this
clarify,
is
'cause
started.
I'm probably vomiting words.
No,
right
but
now,
it
so.
started overseas.
This started.
Like, were you home when it started or no?
It started in April. I would say I started going through like a downward spin of mental health. And then I came home for a week in May. I didn't see you guys.
Wait, you came home? Did
I
you not
remember
even
him
tell-
being home and
Yeah.
not seeing.
I texted
I remember.
you guys.
Yes, I remember that.
I didn't see you, but I texted you.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember that.
I remember that.
My grandma got diagnosed with a form of dementia, Alzheimer's, and she was in a rehab facility, and she basically almost died. Like, she was like that. We were there. We were, at rehab, as you do, just go to hang out, sort of. And one night she basically almost died, and they kind of brought her back. And so I was home for that, and then I went back. And and not related to that, my mental health just took a dive.
Yeah.
Sometimes events like that just
I
trigger
don't know,
it.
but
I remember
it
after
triggered
my
it, but not
grandfather passed
necessarily related to that.
away. No, it has nothing
Right.
to do with
Yeah.
that. It just triggers it. I remember after my grandfather passed away, I had a huge breakdown, and I was upset about him. But it just brings up a lot of I feel like tragic events just bring up anxiety.
It brings you in a bad spot, and it's hard to dig out of it. So she didn't die, but I mean, she's like brain dead now. But like, she didn't die.
Alzheimer's is harder on the family than it because you see them and they're gone. So
Right.
like for all
Yeah,
intents
she
and
died.
purposes there, yeah,
Like mentally.
yeah,
Ugh,
But
it's the worst.
it is.
it triggered a bunch of other shit in me, and it was just a deep darkness. And so we went back. We kept doing our thing, traveling around and stuff. But this darkness was there,
I was gonna say, was it getting in
and
the
the
way
darkness
of
was
enjoyment?
growing. Yeah, and it was getting very much in the way of enjoyment. And by mid-June, I started this therapy because it was getting really dark,
Yeah.
right? And
Was
So-
Kira noticing this too? Was she?
yeah, I talked to Kira about pretty
Yeah.
much everything. So
So she knew as it was going on, as it was
yeah,
going
and it was
on.
noticeable, I'm sure,
Okay.
too.
Okay.
So it was getting bad, and I started this therapy, and the guy gave me a lot of great tips, and he's still my therapist now, about how things in your childhood can kind of affect you as an adult that you might not even think of.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like just like toxic shame is something that I suffer with very much. Like no matter what I do, great or bad, I feel like the worst person on earth. It doesn't matter. Like it could be good, and I just feel bad. And it's a very common thing.
I mean,
that
you
people
sit
have.
next to me and Chick, and you think you're
Feel
the worst.
horrible. I'm the worst guy in the
Do you
room.
feel what kind of like when you say you feel like the worst person, you feel like a bad person, or you just feel like an incapable?
Bad person.
Okay.
I feel like
Interesting.
I feel like bad for me. Like, man, why can't you just be blank?
Okay.
Like, why can't you just whatever the situation? It's that. So I was talking to this guy for 2 months, and it really helped out. And then we came home in August again, and we were supposed to be home for that 2 months. And at that time, I was talking to the therapist, and a lot of old shit was coming up. And
Well, now, was this the time when we saw
this
you?
is when you saw me
Okay.
in August. And the old shit kept coming up. And on top of that, I was miserable to be home again, but also just to be like, my family was in a bad mental state because of the situation with my grandma, and so there was no escape from negativity, right?
Yeah.
My business was not in a great place at that point either. I had lost a client, and I was kind of restructuring things and getting to a better spot. In the end, it ended up being a better spot, but I had to like restructure shit and lost a lot of money in the meantime, and that was stressful too. And I got dude. I'll tell you, I got close to like wanting to just be done.
Really?
And that was when I made the decision, because I had told you guys I'd be home for 4 weeks, and I was
Yeah.
self-medicating. I was getting I was wasted.
Well, yeah, you were getting a little. We could tell
Yeah.
that I could tell that there was something off the first time I saw you because
Yeah.
you were a
Yeah.
little. You put on a good front as far as like, things are great.
I'm good at that.
But you kept on
Yeah.
saying it to the point where I was like, "You're wasted," and you keep on
Yeah.
telling me how great things are. I was
No,
like,
so I
something
was-
seems a little off.
I was self-medicating like crazy because it
Mhm.
wasn't great. Like I was in a bad spot mentally, and towards the end of August, I was getting to the point where like thoughts of like how easy it would be to die
Right.
were like a daily occurrence.
Ugh,
And I was like, man, this is
that's scary.
if we stick around another month, that's like I'll be dead, like definitely.
Really? It was that
That's what
low?
it felt like in my head.
Yeah.
It was getting to the point like driving down the street. I'm like, dude, you just oncoming traffic. It's one hand turn away. Like, that's
Really?
it. That median is one hand turn away,
Yeah.
and you're going 70 miles an hour, whatever. And yeah, so it was rough, and I can't even explain why. I always feel like
there doesn't have
when
to
you
be
have thoughts like that, you're like a bitch.
No, I don't
no,
think
but
that.
there doesn't have to be a fine like a. This is why I want. like,
Exactly.
it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
there-
so
'Cause
cemented.
I don't have anything that's like, oh, it's the worst thing that's ever.
No,
like, I just. But mentally, it was so negative.
It doesn't have to
For
be
my-
a specific moment, you know?
Yeah.
It's,
And my other thing is, everybody always says, "Oh, you don't have." Like even when I was talking about it last week, and I won't get too much into me. We could stick with you, but when I was last week, when I was told, or when James was on the show, and
Yeah.
we were getting into it, and everyone's like, "Oh, everybody's got shit." It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because
Their shit's not my shit, so it doesn't
yeah, their
matter.
shit's not your
It's like-
shit, and everybody's. They can't tell you how yours should affect you, or it's not serious, and like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and I even look at that now, and I'm like, man, you didn't have any solid reason to feel that way, but for some reason I did.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Depression
it-
doesn't need
yeah.
to have
it doesn't have to have a reason, man. It
didn't
really
have
doesn't.
a reason, and it was like, dude, it was like looking back at that, it was the darkest moment of my life, definitely.
But
like, man, I don't know how, but I escaped suicide for sure.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Like,
Dude, that's-
I wish you would have reached out to at least me because we've had our conversations, maybe not as much as I would or we should, but about mental health and if you need anything. I wish you'd call me.
I
But
wish I'd
listen,
called you too.
it doesn't
I
matter
mean,
because when you're
You
in
could have reached out to me too, but apparently I don't answer texts to you.
You don't answer text.
you
But
already
my
went
thing
through this.
is, it's not even that somebody else could help, but sometimes it's good to hear
but what's
somebody
crazy
else.
to me is like I can't even pinpoint now sitting here like why I felt
But it
that way.
doesn't matter.
But
That's
it
what I'm
ju-
trying to
It was
say.
such an overwhelming like if I can conceptualize it another way, it was like being surrounded by like a blanket that you can't escape,
Yeah.
It's just
and that was
you can
what
blanket it as depression.
what it felt like, and it was
'Cause
it
that's
was
what it is.
So crazy. And looking back now, like that's nuts, bro. I wouldn't kill myself because things are relatively good. But
People always, fucking.
but fuck, dude, at that point, it was
Yeah.
like,
so
Listen,
scary that
there was a time where I threw out all knives in my house. Well, not all. Like I just got rid of knives that were in my room, and I just because I thought
Really?
I was like, I don't want to touch. I don't
bro,
want
I
to do
persevere.
anything.
I'll find a way.
Well, listen. But when I did it, I'm thinking like, no matter what, if you want to find a way, you will. So
Yeah.
you try and do these things to like mentally be like, I'm protecting myself from harming myself. But you don't need. It doesn't have to be an instance where it's like that's why he wanted to do it. It's your emotions and depression is that's why it's so difficult is because you don't necessarily know why it happens or what's the reason. Like, it's just it's there. You know it's there. And it doesn't. No one else could change that.
The self-medication part of it, like the drinking part of it, was like didn't. Like you think it's gonna help. You think you're medicating, but you're not. You're making it a lot worse.
You make it worse. Yeah.
I can tell you this answers a lot of questions because me and B were even. I was like, I don't know if not, and we told you, but I said I was like, I don't, when you first said you're leaving to go back because you needed to go back, and you actually told us.
No, well, because I dropped it on you.
Yeah,
I booked the ticket 2 days before.
And I was talking to B, and I was like, I knew something was off. I didn't know what. I didn't realize what. But that's the other thing. You never know what somebody else is going through.
You don't.
I honestly assumed, I didn't realize it was as dark or as bad as it was.
Yeah, dude. I mean, because it's embarrassing also to be.
Oh,
like
it
that
is.
way.
I get it.
You
well,
know,
it shouldn't be, but
It shouldn't be.
feels
It
shouldn't
that
be,
way.
but it is. Like it feels that way.
It feels that
you're
way.
right.
Because you don't have to be embarrassed
But yeah, no,
about it with us.
we had a flight booked for the end of September, and I had essentially this conversation with Kira, and I was like, listen, if we stay here, like if you want to stay here, you stay.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't leave, I'm gonna die. Like that's.
Now, did you
Yeah,
guys
that's
both
why-
go back together?
We
Or
did.
okay,
Yeah, we
That's
ended up-
why they're getting married because she was like,
because
I'm
she's
going
there.
back.
that's
She
why she's the one.
very
the
much
one.
understands me,
Yeah,
and my flaws and all of that. But
which you don't have a lot of flaws, Chris.
I do.
No, but it's
I
even,
mean, we all have
even if you
flaws.
have a bunch, that's what you take.
No, but
when
like
you,
in that moment where she was like, because I told her, like, listen, you come back whenever. I need to go.
Yeah.
I have to. And she was like, no. See, I'm coming with you, regardless of any
but
situation.
it's tough
and
to deal
that
with somebody
was
who's
awesome.
feeling like
That's
that.
great.
But for
Because you make
on,
it,
on
and I'm
her
not saying
end,
that you personally.
no,
but
on her
as
end, that's impossible.
anybody who's dealing,
Yeah.
with it, you're not pleasant to be around.
No, you're
And
not.
most people don't want it.
No, I'm sure my entire family can tell you I was not pleasant.
Yeah,
to be
but they
around.
want to,
Yeah.
and everybody wants to fix it, but they don't know what to say. They try to, and
Yeah.
it always makes it work. Whatever. It's just, it's nothing anybody else could do. So you kind of have to do what's, do your own thing. And
You gotta, like, for me, I knew what the answer was, and not. And like here now, I have a much better mindset about this. So I don't think being here is.
you needed to
has
learn how to
anything-
cope with being.
Yeah,
I
did it-
needed to learn how to cope with some shit.
That's all
from
it
the
is.
Past,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I needed to not be here to learn how to cope with it.
Yeah, that's
and
all.
Now that I'm back, I'm like, oh my god, that's.
Did
crazy.
you have any thoughts when you coming back? Like, I'm gonna be
I was
in that
very
mode.
anxious, Yeah.
Yeah.
I was anxious that it would trigger something.
Right.
It hasn't so far.
Good.
I feel pretty good. But I was pretty anxious the whole flight home yesterday. Yeah.
Right.
I will tell you, once you learn how to cope with it, doing anything else that would bring things up is easier.
Dude, I got
Not easy, but easier.
I gotta fucking thank my therapist, Bert. The man.
The therapist is good, but they can only do as much as you allow them to do.
No, but so definitely in the beginning, I was like lying to him a lot. Not lying, but like omitting.
No, you don't.
things.
You
Yeah.
are lying.
But-
I used to do it too. Everybody probably does it.
Since I started opening, I mean, he's really helped me learn ways to figure out how to cope with things.
Yeah.
And you do have to do all the work yourself.
But that's why I say it.
But-
And therapists are good, and I'll praise them too with you. But you gotta take some credit.
You got
work
you
is
gotta
on
figure
you.
it out. But like,
You have to be the one who's
His-
willing
the-
to open up
he
and
walked
actually
me
do
through
it.
ways to do it, and it's like, oh, this is I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
have to.
You got to be ready.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
The number one thing I feel like with therapists is everybody lies in the beginning. I do. I did forever.
Mhm.
And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
because you almost feel like it's like
Is that just because like you feel embarrassed? I haven't been to a therapist in years.
you don't.
Dude, you
It's
want
so
to
really
admit how
weird.
bad you are. Like you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you don't admit like how bad so like when you meet people or just out, like, so we were just at Republic, you don't want to like lead with what's going wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You want to lead with what's going right. So this is a stranger that you're meeting,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be like, here's everything that's
Here's
a
everything
problem
that's a
right
problem.
now.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to trust them.
You got to trust them. That's
You have to like them. This therapist I had, and you don't have a vibe with,
Yeah,
and you're
can
like,
see
I don't
that.
want to, you know. But
I don't trust you with my shit yet.
yeah, it's like I don't,
Yeah.
I don't even like.
I got a
I'm
lot
not
of shit.
feeling
I
good
gotta
enough
trust you
with
before I
that,
dump
yeah.
it.
And then the other thing is, you don't realize some of the things you're saying are defense. Like you're buttering yourself up more than you are. Like when you're saying, when you're unveiling your
Dude.
shit, you butter it up so it's like a defense mechanism to make it seem not as bad.
Yeah,
And it's
my
almost
thing
a
is humor.
subconscious.
Like I laugh at, like I'll like deliver it as a joke to the
Yeah,
therapist.
and
he's like-
exactly.
he was literally last week. He was like, "You got to stop doing that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
was
he
like,
knows.
"That's not good. You got to stop doing that." But it's also interesting because you have to trust them to be able to like tell them things, but you also don't want them to have like an inside scoop. Like you don't want them to automatically agree with you, type of thing. Also,
Well, they should. If they're agreeing with you, they're either not listening.
yeah.
Because if
There's
you're
a weird-
there because you're not doing something
There's
right.
like a weird,
So you know,
it's a weird
Yeah.
line to walk with.
You're
them,
doing
too.
it all
You're like,
right.
you're not
Yeah.
doing. If somebody's agreeing
I don't know, man.
with
Everything's
you,
good.
Yeah, everything. Oh, you know, like that's not.
It's
I have thoughts of walking into traffic as well. I mean, it's normal. All right.
Dude,
good-
the one weird thing with therapy though, at least online therapy. I don't know about real therapy, but like, you're not allowed.
Is it a Zoom?
It's through their platform.
But is it a video?
It's like Zoom. Yeah, it's video.
So he's looking
Yeah,
at you.
but you're not allowed to tell them that you've had thoughts of suicide.
Why?
That's you can't when you're signing up. You can't say it because otherwise they refer you to like.
Because
a
then you're
hospital.
on to another
Yeah.
Oh,
level.
okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
So like, you gotta
Insurance
you gotta
bar
filter
inches.
that.
Yeah.
You're like, have you ever thought of killing yourself? No, never.
No, not at all.
Not 5 minutes.
Well,
ago.
the only thing that's fucked up
I'm
about
signing
that.
up for online therapy. I've never thought of killing
The only thing
myself.
that's dangerous with that is that
Talking
if
to a
you really
stranger
are
on my
feeling it.
I'm talking to a stranger in my fucking living room right now. No, I'm totally
Oh
fine.
God.
But think about it though. That's the only dangerous part of the online thing, because now you're keeping things.
Yeah,
you're
but-
not
Yeah,
giving
no,
them the
there's-
full.
You can't give the
But
full
it seems like what you guys are saying. It takes it. That's why I think therapy takes a little while.
But if you want to tell this person like he
think
loves his therapist,
if
for
I
argument's
could
sake,
be in person, it would be better. This is great for what I can do.
The situation you're in,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
you are in a tough spot because I don't know.
There's no English.
One is
therapists in
also
Serbia.
culturally too, that even if a Serbian therapist is phenomenal,
You're like a bitch. Like if you go to therapy.
Yeah.
but not even no, it's just
It's a very
it's a
masculine
different.
culture.
Can he relate to you?
No.
as much as he can relate
Definitely
to a
not.
Serbian. You know what I mean?
There are enough English embassies in Serbia that there's probably one or two English-speaking.
I don't even
therapists
mean
in
the
there.
language. I just mean
Your therapist is an English guy, though, right?
He lives in Indiana. Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, he's
Who's
great.
your
we
state?
we talk at 10 a.m.
why is
Eastern
that so
every
interesting
Monday.
to you?
I don't know. Just that you can get a therapist from like.
No,
every-
isn't that nuts?
It's
Well,
like
that's the beauty
yeah.
of being online.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, like this guy just lives in Indiana and he's dealing with Chris's.
Yeah.
You know.
No, he talks to me before he goes to work in his like real therapist office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a.
He's cool, man. I
That's
like
great, man. Well, it's great you found the
it. So
right
it's
guy.
good. Yeah, I mean,
And
It's all
also-
about
I'm in
that.
a much better spot now than then.
And by the way, you could tell. Like I don't know. Like I've only been with you for the last half hour, but you could tell you're in like. There was a darkness around
There
you last
was-
time.
listen,
and, and
There
it
was
was
we
a
knew
fucking-
something was
There was
up.
a rain cloud.
it was hard to pinpoint.
I knew something was. I just didn't know what.
It was
Yeah.
definitely like
It was
like
that. It was suicide.
like guy you were drinking more than like.
That's,
Yeah.
We were
I've
talked
ever
about
seen-
it. We're like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he's got a problem, but we were like, he seemed like he was like looser than he's ever
no,
been.
it was.
We knew something was off.
100% self-medication.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Makes sense.
Dude, well, I'm so happy that you like noticed this and figured out.
And didn't kill yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, me too. It would have been.
Yeah, that would have been a bummer for
Would've
the
sucked,
holidays.
dude.
Well, listen,
fucking
it would have been a
sucked.
banger episode, but it would have been a very.
Dude, that would have been the.
We
top
always
rated
say it
episode, right?
We would have been the podcast where one of our members killed
Yeah.
themselves,
Right.
and like
You have to
mean,
set
would
up
it-
like a memorial fund
That-
or something like that.
we
though.
it
would've
might
done
have
stuff.
Yeah.
generated a lot of listeners,
Yeah.
and we could have used you as like a
Alright,
tribute all the
next time.
time.
I made
But
a TikTok video.
To be honest
Yeah.
with you, I'd rather have our 10 listeners and you alive.
It's funny though because we have had conversations about which one of us
No,
is going
we
to go
have.
first.
Yeah, and
and
I
you're
always thought it
always
was
the
Chic.
one that we don't.
and we
think.
don't even
Yeah.
mention you.
It's always
It was always
between
a
me
given
and
that I would
Maybe-
last the longest.
But maybe that's the problem. Is like you
But
you
that's
never
what would
think
make
the
episode
normal
so
one.
good is that nobody would have expected.
I
it.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'd have to go deep
be like-
diving.
It would be
into
like
the
somebody
like,
committed
Chris
suicide,
died?
and then
That's
Chris and
nuts.
Tom and B is still on.
old. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, that
You would have been like
nuts.
plus 10,000 in Vegas.
yeah,
as
I
a
would
book,
have.
you would have had great odds.
Really, you could have bet on that chick.
That would have been
Yeah.
amazing if someone did kill. Fuck. What do they call those pools? The dead pools. When you bet who's gonna die first, and
You
people
know, I
actually
don't
do
have
that.
experience with that.
Yeah.
I got to be honest.
Oh, fuck me.
Chick bets a lot.
It's on
He's gone
who's
down a
gonna
lot of
die.
holes.
That's insane, dude.
There's a movie about that.
That's worse than what I just admitted.
Yeah. No.
Anywho,
Dude, well-
no. I'm in all seriousness. No, I wish you would have called me because I'm selfish and I always want to help.
Next time.
But
By the
I'm
way,
glad you got
Chick
the help
is-
you needed.
I have to say, Chick is really good with all this stuff.
I will say, so when I first got back to Serbia and got my head right, I did text, I think at the group chat, but I did say, Chick, I want to talk to you about this.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You did.
I think that was one of the first texts I sent.
Probably.
When I was out.
Yeah,
there.
you said you were dealing with some kind of depression, or I want to talk
I'm
about
up
it.
late and my phone's always there. and
Yeah, man.
I'm there.
I
if you
wish I
ever
had
need.
the mindset to talk to you guys at the time, but it just wasn't.
Listen,
It wasn't
time
there,
it's
man.
harder, and I'm
It wasn't
glad
there.
I'm glad we could talk about it now.
Yeah. And for future, we're always here. And I know when you're in that spot, it's
Yeah, it's a
not
weird.
easy.
It's a
but-
fog.
You
I know.
answered a lot of questions though. For like, I shouldn't not you like me and him when you just left. For a while, we would always joke about it, like, Chris just left. We got no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It kind of answers a lot of those
Yeah.
Good,
of
I'm
what
glad it
was
did.
going
It does
on.
make it does put some things together there for us.
It does.
Oh man. Well, dude, that's we love you.
Yeah, but we're still kicking it. So.
Now we are.
Exactly.
We are.
Glad.
Sorry to throw this all on you to start the episode,
No,
but
I'm
you know
sorry
what?
to down the listeners.
Down the listener. This is
No,
what.
this
let
is
me
our
tell you
best
something.
shows.
By the
On a
way,
Sunday morning they're probably listening to this.
these are our best shows, and I want to say this: we just got nominated. I'm going to break the news
Break it.
for the best podcast on Long Island from the Canna Rap magazine. All right, folks,
Nice.
the
Oh,
Canna
shit.
Rap mag for our buddy M. Saul and the Canna Rap boys. They voted Adult Babies as the top podcast of the year.
That's
Nice.
right.
So who are we competing against?
Doesn't matter. We left them in the dust.
No, I mean we won, but like
We
who-
won.
who
Every
lost?
podcast that they
Truly,
could
who
listen
lost?
to,
Everything that
those
they've ever
guys
listened to.
yeah, everything that they listen to.
Nice.
we were the best.
He said we're his favorite.
Now I'm currently
I
doing.
believe that. I think we're number one.
I
It's
do.
a good show.
It is.
I'm currently doing an interview with them. Okay, I'm taking the liberty of answering
For
the question.
us or
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
I am. But one of the first questions
He's always
was,
trying
Did we
to-
vote on
Big
this?
Time
I
B's
don't
always
think- I
trying
don't
to
think
steal
we-
the spotlight.
I don't think
I'm
we
not-
voted on this.
well, no, I
you
mean,
know, I'm the guy who would want to be interviewed. Like,
well, here's the thing, they're
I
not.
love attention.
They're not reaching out to you. They're reaching out to
I
me.
know, I get it.
But my point of the whole
but
thing
he
was,
would answer, dude.
of course he would answer. But
fucking answer.
but you know what? I know his answer would be a little off because he has a terrible memory. So like, what was the most memorable episode
Dude
of the
answers
year?
bots.
The most memorable episode of the year. It's tough because I love Ziegler.
Are we talking
and I
about a
think he
year
might
from
have
right
been-
now?
Of the past year.
I'm going to talk about a year from right now when we sang the Chipmunk song.
That was like 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
That
It
was
last
last year.
Christmas.
That was a year from now.
Are you? I think it was
Actually,
last.
no, Chris, that
no,
might
it
have been
was-
two
that was
Christmases
two
ago.
Christmases ago.
No.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it actually.
Have you
might
been in this department for 2 years?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was his first year he was in this apartment.
Oh fuck! I take it
Um,
back. Sorry. It was 2 years.
I don't
ago?
know what the most memorable moment. We did. I don't know. What would you say?
Well, I said it was Brandon LaCaruba announcing his divorce on here.
That's solid.
That
I think it was a good
solid.
one. But my point was I like that this is a podcast that people can come on and share their darkest times.
Oh yes.
Because we're
That was I forgot about that
we're
one.
at the end of the day, we're your friends. We're here for you. So it's people like Brandon coming on talking about that. It's we've had other friends come talk about depression and suicide thoughts. One of our own talking about it. Those are my favorite episodes. So it's not bringing the podcast down. I think it's everybody's going through this or knows somebody in some way. So I think those are.
It's turning it into an authentic podcast.
Taking
those
it away
episodes.
from us for a second, I've done a lot of research on suicide since then, and fuck. Number one, it's common.
Oh, it's very common.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And not only is it common, it's super impulsive. So
That's the issue. It's
you're in those mindsets. I'm sure people listening have been in those mindsets, and maybe you guys both have also. You can looking back on it now, I can very clearly see where one impulsive moment could have ended my life. And now, look, I mean, I would regret that.
Yeah,
insanely.
I would.
But one impulsive moment can
Like
do
you
that.
were saying, like
Yeah.
that, just across the road, you could just make a left turn.
You can make a left turn when you should have.
It's a moment. It's a moment of
It's one fucking.
I would venture
movement.
to say, and I won't say all, because there
Yeah.
probably are some people who really no matter what wanted to. But I would venture to say most people who do it, if they were able to get through that moment, would not have done it.
I agree.
No, and you
Not
like-
everybody. I'll
like-
never say
like-
No,
everybody.
not
but I
everybody,
would
of
say
course.
And
a
this was
lot.
a big thing for me in that moment was like the driving, and it was like, dude, what? You turn your hand one time. You turn your hand one time, and you're fucking dead,
Yeah.
right?
But then you take other people out.
No, or you
Yeah, but you don't
hit the median,
care.
or you hit the
Yeah.
median or something like that.
And I don't mean it
at
to be a
100
dick,
miles
but
an
at the
hour.
moment you don't
right?
care.
And it's like that one fucking hand movement can
Yeah.
Yeah, it's common, and a lot of people feel that way, and I didn't know that
Oh yeah.
until after I felt that
Dude,
way.
nobody talks
Yeah.
about it. Most people don't have a.
But I think it should be talked about.
People are now just starting to. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things that happen, and people mental issues.
Like you
with
shouldn't feel
sports
bad
players
for
and all
having
this.
mental health issues.
But it's so.
Everybody's got some
everybody's
sort
got
of
some
mental
sort of
health
problem is
issue. I mean,
everybody's
Jesus
gonna
Christ.
put on a front.
Yeah.
Well, that's what social media.
Oh,
you
you're
put
a
on
tough
front,
guy because you don't have mental. No, you do.
And we
Everybody
bash
does.
people with
Yeah.
mental issues. Think about being a celebrity, and everybody who's. And I use celebrities who most people have no sympathy for because they're celebrities, but everyone's they got all this money, these great lives, and all people do is destroy them though about everything. Their looks.
Oh, it's so difficult.
then we're like-
to be
and then
Ryan
we're like,
Reynolds.
Oh, she went crazy. No,
yeah,
dude,
and
you
then
fucking
like even Kanye,
I
he's
think
clearly
about-
going through something,
to
and he's
me-
just getting
Dude, being a
bashed.
celebrity
to
is
me,
not
Miley
easy.
Cyrus is a great example of that, where she went through she grew up in fame,
Bieber.
and then went through her
The Biebs.
18, 19-year-old life. Like, if I had fucking cameras on me at 18, 19,
It's not
with
even-
that access
Also, the
to
hardest
money
time
and,
of your
the-
life.
the
Those
hardest
are
time
the
of your
times where
life.
it's.
But
and people have you under a microscope, and then they start
that-
fucking digging on you on
Exactly,
the internet.
That's
and it's
what
like,
I'm saying.
dude, she's a fucking kid.
It's the real, and we're all guilty of it. We do it with athletes.
Oh, yeah, no,
myself.
we all do it. It's
we're
just
like,
like-
why these guys? Every time they fuck up because they're the ones on it, and people are, and then we wonder why people have mental issues. And Simone Biles, Biles
Biles, yeah.
got shit on for pulling out with the issues. Like people just they don't
Yeah.
get it.
They don't
And
get
They
it.
don't care.
They do get it because they have their own mental issues. They say, you're on TV, you should not have the same issues I do.
Or I go to work,
something
but they
like
still
that.
look at it as I go to work every day. But what you're
Right, I
doing
do
is
it.
nowhere
Yeah.
near what they're doing, and it's everything's different. It's just
It's like the get a job mentality. Like, it just doesn't with like homeless people. It's like the get a
Right.
job mentality. It
Yeah.
doesn't add up. It's the same thing. Like, oh, I do this. It's like, yeah, that's not.
I hate when people
You don't have
say
8,000 fucking
I
cameras
did
on you
this
every
and
day.
why did,
Yeah.
and then they use
You
that.
load trucks every day. Congratulations, bro. They're not doing that.
But it's just that my point is it's just people have there's a lot of these issues going on,
Of course.
I'm with
and
you.
I think that's probably where a lot of things stem
No,
from.
and I struggled with some kind of depression, anxiety for most of my life, from high school, I would say, but that was an eye-opening experience to me for
This is
how
a different
for how deep
thing,
it can
yeah.
go, for how
quick it can
for
go
how
deep.
quick it can do. That's the
what it
thing.
is.
It was how quick it can go deep, and you're like, whoa.
I was
Looking back, you're like, fuck.
So I had signs as a kid of anxieties and nervousness and things that when eventually it caught up with me in my 20s where it got bad, where I was like, oh, I could have seen this. You know, as a kid, I was had my nervous tics. And, you know, when you're younger, the responsibilities aren't there, so the stress isn't there, so the anxiety is not there yet fully. It shows it's, you know, it pops up here and there with stupid things. Then life hits as far as I have to go to school, I have to get a job, I need money, you get bills. And that's when the anxiety starts really churning. And that's what I think it is. It's when you're a kid, it's nothing serious yet. Yes, you have nerves, you can get anxieties. Most people don't have them that bad at that point.
What kind of anxieties did you have as a kid?
I used to get nervous that somebody wasn't going to pick me up from when we used to go to our parents would carpool.
So you had,
Yeah.
like,
Or
early
somebody else's
anxiety,
parents
yeah.
weren't going to pick me up. I would get nervous about that. I would always think I had these little, like, my one buddy had Lyme disease, so I always would check myself over the top for ticks
ticks?
if I was outside.
Dude, that's another
I had a
thing
stomach
I'll talk
issue
about
in
a minute.
ninth grade where I thought, so I got sick. I legitimately got sick from eating somewhere once, and I couldn't get it out of my head that I got better, and for about 3 months, I lost 30 pounds, 40 pounds as a kid. Like I wasn't, I was
Dude, what
skinny
happened?
finally. Yeah, exactly.
What place was this? We would bring you
Ninth
back
grade, and I Outback. I'll never forget.
This
I
is
went
when
to
he
Outback.
ran the all-purpose yards or
there.
whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, this was that year.
It
I
was that
swear
year.
to God, it was that year.
He
I
lost
didn't
some weight. He
He
travel.
lost 30 pounds.
I didn't travel with the team.
Guy had a
because
bloomin'
I
onion and ran
Yeah,
for 2,000 yards.
Dude, I didn't travel with the team because I was nervous that on the bus my stomach would like have issues and I'd have to take a shit.
No, he had a chauffeur.
Yeah.
So I would go with my parents. So because I would like in my head they'll pull over on the bus with the team. It's just a different situation.
What'd you eat at the Outback? Do you remember?
I think I had the blooming onion,
course you had
Alice
the
Springs
blooming onion,
chicken, like, and I
You
just
got chicken at Outback?
Yeah.
listen.
Dude, that's
never
a
go
fucking
down under for
mistake,
chicken.
bro.
But
You
it,
never go to Outback for chicken. That's insane.
those were the things that when I was younger I had those issues, but they never like they got in the way of things, but not. I was late to school all the time because I missed the bus because I was always in the bathroom and I wasn't even shitting. I was like feeling like I
Oh,
had
you
to.
had like just bathroom anxiety.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna my stomach, and that's why I wouldn't eat. I would only eat like binding foods. I wouldn't eat like greasy shit.
So he was constipated.
Yeah.
The whole time.
So your whole thing was like you were afraid to shit?
Basically,
Huh.
not that I was scared of. I was scared of having to shit not at home. Basically,
Right.
Huh.
now I'm fine. But my point is, when I was a kid, these are like the little anxieties that I had. And then when I got older, I got hit with an anxiety attack one day, and I became agoraphobic for a year and a half. That's how quick it happened.
So
Yeah.
that
and
is
I wanted to kill myself.
something that I wanted to that when I was texted you that in like September or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was alluding to, wanting to talk to you about, like how
So a week.
I think I could have gone that route had I if I were like a different person. If I were
I
more
was
of a
also
homebody.
petrified of dying.
Yeah.
That's why I always wanted to like fucking end it because I hated my life, but I was also so scared of dying.
So that's where
What a
I'm at, too,
conundrum
is,
that
like,
is.
It
You
is-
laugh about it, but it's true. That's
Oh, I
what
get
was.
it.
No, I don't mean it in a bad way. Like it is. I wanted to
It's like
end it.
two
Yeah.
different anxieties
That's
hitting.
why I used to always tell my mother because I would tell her I want to kill and no parent wants to hear their kid talking about it. But I used to always tell her, don't worry, I'm
yeah.
also petrified of doing it. Like
I do think like my version of kill myself would be not kill myself would be like disappearing.
my version of killing myself is I don't take care of myself, and honestly, and that sounds awful.
My thing
I
would
mean,
be like go be homeless somewhere. I think would be my
Homeless.
No, but like I'm 39, I still smoke, and it's now that I got when you don't care about yourself and you don't have the balls, I'll say, to
You got a new
actually do
sweatshirt, though.
something.
That's nice.
I know he does.
You do other things.
How many-
that
how-
you
how much
know
longer?
have a a
So
mortal.
you're subconsciously killing yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I take shit. I can have a hard. Like I take such shit care of myself physically.
So do you feel like you're slowly killing yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
subconsciously.
Are you doing that on purpose?
You know, this is a whole thing where we need to. You know, it's too much to unravel, but probably.
Yeah, I should have Bert call into this.
Yeah,
show.
we're gonna have to have Bert.
Great.
By the way, I want to say one thing, Chick. When you do die, I think you shit yourself as well. So,
The shitting's no problem anymore.
Oh,
Like, I'd
we've gotten
shit in-
over
I'd
that?
Shit anywhere.
oh,
Oh, good.
Dude, once you get a little older and
You
mature
won't
about
right now.
certain things, like you realize
yeah.
that was a childish thing. That was like, where am I gonna go? If there's always bathrooms.
There's
Like,
always bathrooms.
It was. I was a young, and I was
Some bathrooms you don't want to use, but
Listen,
there's
yeah,
always
exact-
bathrooms.
And now I've managed to pay, but
Yeah, you
also
gotta be
as part of
strategic.
my careless attitude is you're just like, I don't even give a fuck if I get like I used to be OCD with germs, so I didn't like using public things. I still am like that to an extent, but I have like I don't really give a fuck.
Is your
anymore.
careless?
Dude, I think COVID killed my OCD for germs.
I almost think so
I was
too.
way more OCD pre-COVID.
And I agree with you
and
now.
then when everyone got so serious about it, I fuck it. I'm like, this
Huh.
is what it is.
I kind of think
Yeah.
that like some of my OCDs with that shit
I
kind
used
of
to
have went away.
Purell all the time.
I know,
And now
I
don't.
Purell more now.
dude. I was.
Dude, I Purell.
I used to never
I
Purell.
Purelled all the time. I don't anymore. Like I just it is what it is.
Dude, yeah, dude. It was
Right?
like I feel like it's kind of weird that you said that because I never really thought about it, but it's kind of true.
I
For me, at
care
least.
so much less now about that stuff.
So do I.
That's so funny because I keep like a like a
I'm
little.
like over it.
I keep a little
I
Purell
think that's
in my
what it
hand.
is.
I think I'm just
I was
over
like,
it.
you know what? If I get
I
it, I
cared
get it.
so
Like
much for so long.
exactly. I was just like, I hit my peak caring. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
I think that's it. I think I
Like,
cared
'cause-
so much.
And I did it so much before COVID.
You ran
that
out of the-
Then it ran up on
I was,
COVID,
yeah, yeah.
I
and
was
then
a
it was like, I'm done.
germaphobe. I was a germaphobe pre-COVID, and then
Exactly.
those first 5 months, I was like really not trying to get it.
100%. I was cleaning cigarette packs. Like, dude, I used to like. I was, dude.
Yeah.
It
Wait,
was
you clean cigarette pack?
COVID.
He was spraying down his Amazon shit. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beginning of COVID, I was.
COVID, I was. But you
I
know,
wasn't
Because
necessarily
remember,
nervous.
Early COVID could have killed him.
Yeah, early COVID might have killed me.
That's true. Well, me too. But like, I was never like a nut with that
Yes, you
before.
were.
No,
Oh,
no, no,
before.
no, before.
Yeah, no,
but
okay.
it, see, to me, it kind of like turned me into overdrive. So now I do keep a Purell with me.
It hit to the point where
Not that I anymore. Like I,
no, like
but-
I felt like I was
He
being
takes in one of those
smart.
pockets he has on his shirt.
but I do. No, I do keep a little. I do keep a little Purell thing with me in my coat,
You know what I also
which I
think it
never
was?
did before.
Is
this.
pre-COVID, I thought I was being very clean and smart about it. Right. Once you learned what you have to like, I never washed my hands for 40 seconds or the minute. Like I would wash them,
no, 40 seconds. is a
whatever
long
the rule
time, dude.
is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never.
You have to
timed
sing
it.
"Happy Birthday" while you wash your
Yeah.
hands.
I'm not doing
And
that.
my
I've
point
never
is,
done that.
once I realized, like, wow, I've barely been probably doing it. Just
You're like, it is what it is.
It
It's
is what
just
it is now,
what it
like-
yeah.
I don't care anymore about that.
Also, like,
I'm gonna
I
be
learned,
clean.
Like the Purell, the hand sanitizer, is really bad for you.
It's not. It's not. It makes it dry.
It makes you dry, but it also kills the bacteria that
That you need.
stops
The good bacteria.
Exactly.
infection.
It kills the good bacteria.
And you're like, oh, that seems counterintuitive.
Hey, listen. As long as I don't get sick, I've been very lucky. We've
No,
all
so
been
here's
pretty
the
lucky
thing,
on this
another-
podcast.
Let me one more mental health thing, and then we can get
Hey,
positive.
No,
we're
dude,
not.
we'll do it the
we're
whole
all
episode
through
if
it.
you want.
Is I did. This is a be-like quality, and I almost called you at one point. One of my
Finally, I
anxiety
get involved.
symptoms is
I wouldn't call you.
is I have like hypochondria, and I've had this a few times. I thought I had testicular cancer
I
a few
went through
years
that.
ago.
I remember
phase.
you saying that.
Yeah, remember that? I went and I got tested for 2 doctors, and they both said I didn't have it. And I didn't necessarily believe them, but I have like that thing that happens.
Dude, that's
sometimes.
so funny. I remember.
I used to do
You
that.
remember? I told
I
you.
remember you basically told me you had it, and I was like,
No, I was like, dude, I have it. I definitely do.
It was the epididymis, probably.
I don't know what the fuck. It is.
"What'd he say?
It was one of the.
Yeah, you fucking. You went through the same thing.
I know. I have.
What did doctor just
No,
say?
I went.
You got the epididymis?
I remember
Well, I don't know how
telling
to
you
pronounce
how
it.
nervous I was because I was convinced that I had it. I was like, bro, I have cancer, definitely.
Dude, you said that to me, and I was like, I haven't thought about it till then, but like I was like waiting for you to like
I still
like
think I have
confirm
cancer.
it.
Dude, I'm not necessarily sure that they were right.
I
All right,
actively. Can I
Check.
tell you, I'm one of the firm believers that I feel like I have cancer, and if I go to a doctor and get certain things that I would like to get checked out, once they tell you you have it, your mind.
That's it's better to not know.
It's better to not
It's
know
better to
because
not
I feel like
know.
your mind could almost heal
Because then
yourself.
you can beat it.
No, it's fucked up.
I'm with
Once
you
you get the
100%.
terminal,
Dude,
once you get the diagnosis that you have something, that's all you think
I don't
about.
need to hear
the
stage
symptoms
4,
get
dude.
worse. Did you ever notice everyone's like, I felt fine until I
Yes,
found out I had it,
Exactly.
and then the symptoms started.
Exactly.
I know.
You don't think there's something to that?
That's why you never get a test.
That's why
Chris,
you
you
don't
never-
get tested.
No
If you
doctor
go, you
ever
go.
said that you had this. This is all in your
No,
head.
but I did get it tested twice. But
All right. Well, check.
so, no,
grab his
so
balls. Let's check it a
on-
third
on
time. We have
this,
to
let's do it again. So
you get the left one. I'll
I
get the
didn't
right.
have that allegedly, and
You do it in the shower, warm
but
water.
I do no.
You're supposed to
I
test
got
in the shower.
sonograms.
No,
I got
you got
fucking-
sonograms.
I went. I was convinced.
Wait, but did you feel something in there, or
Maybe
you
Yeah,
just
and it hurt. I did like there's a condition like you get like it's like a muscle pull.
Would you sit on your
you
balls?
pulled your balls,
I
huh?
pulled my ball muscle.
It happens. You
This
can
was
hurt
like
your
2 or
balls.
3 This was like 3 years ago. It doesn't hurt anymore. And by the way, the second they told me it wasn't cancer, it stopped hurting. It's all in my head.
Yeah, of course.
Your head is
Um,
crazy. I
You
feel
know
like
what
your
else
head
is
can
nuts?
heal
So
yourself.
this happened again recently.
The balls?
No, I was convinced that my kidney was failing.
Oh yeah.
I was
Can't ask Biggie B.
I
Barely
was
got kidneys,
convinced.
bro.
I'll
Right?
tell you all about
So
that.
I almost called you. I was like, because I was looking up. Like if you look at my Google,
I'd be
search
like, I don't know,
history-
man.
Yeah, he would have. If
I
you
feel
called
good.
him in that situation,
Dude.
you would feel so much worse after that phone call.
I probably would.
I'm like, I got a good
If
joke
you look
out
at,
of it.
Like my Google search history, it's like, what does kidney failure feel like? Kidney failing,
What were you feeling?
back pain,
Nah. Well, oh yeah. See, my kidneys aren't in my back.
Back pain.
back pain from probably sitting on a plane. For
You
By
know,
the way-
lower back pain can be testicular cancer.
By the way,
That's what I've heard.
I was thinking this lower back pain could be a heart attack
No, it was like
because
Everything hurts when you have a heart attack.
Because-
I've seen so many symptoms.
James Raniolo and he was like, yeah, I was having like this mild back
Yeah, but
pain.
there's also the left arm pain.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about heart attacks.
Dude,
That's a whole separate deal.
2 weeks ago,
I feel like that's how I'm gonna go.
2 weeks ago, I was here and I was having sharp pains in my chest like
it's
every
the
3
worst.
minutes, and
I had those for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years,
When I was agoraphobic, that was because I was doing a
dude. You're heart attack prone.
He might have a heart attack. Dude, I went to my parents'
You should
house.
check that.
No, I'm not. This is years ago.
I went to my parents'
Chris
house
was
and I
like-
almost had them bring me to the hospital. Like I
get
really
it.
I thought it
It's
was
scary.
there.
I think
bro.
If I were home, I would have done a similar thing. So
With
I
the
would-
kidney
but I
or
was
the
away
ball?
With the kidney, and
Talking about it makes me nervous.
so I
I'm having chest pains right now.
literally.
I feel like I have one kidney right now.
but I knew this about myself because of the ball pain thing and just a few other things over the past couple of years. I know
ball
that
pain.
it's hypochondria.
But
I
to
know
me,
that
I'm always.
it's a form of anxiety, and I know that this is not real. Your kidney is not failing.
Do you also get the?
Like I know that in my head.
when my kidney
Boy
was,
that cried wolf though, the hypochondria that you feel like it's hypochondria.
No.
And then one day it's gonna be
But
real.
The old
mentally-
Veda
mentally,
Sultanfuss.
I was like, look. Mentally, I was like, your kidney's not failing. Like you know your kidney's.
By
not
the way,
failing.
how was your energy?
That was my energy.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, no. If your kidney was failing, you would feel.
No, but B, I knew my kidney wasn't failing, like mentally
All right, so that. Oh, why would it?
in my head. But then I was like, but maybe it is.
Maybe it is. There's always the. But
Dude,
maybe
but
it is.
It is.
But the
And
way you
so
were acting
I-
last
so
time, maybe
I
you should
went-
check on
I
that
found
liver.
A doctor. I went to
I'll
a
tell you,
doctor.
I got a funny thing.
And I paced outside the doctor for like 10 minutes one day because I'm like, dude, you can't go to a doctor. Your kidney's not failing.
By the way, if
Can't
you're
go to the
pacing, your
doctor.
kidney's fine.
Yeah.
You'd be too tired to do anything.
I'm sure probably. So I didn't go. A week later, I went back to the doctor and I went in and they did I did like a pee test. They sonogrammed my kidney. They sonogrammed my whole body.
Yeah, I've
was
I've
like,
made
dude,
deals with
check
doctors
my
to
liver,
get
check
tests.
just check everything. He's like, you're completely healthy. And I was like, are you sure?
By the way,
Dude, I was like, are you sure?
I've made deals with doctors to do this shit to get tests done that I thought.
wow,
they
like
would-
money under the table?
no, like
Dude, we are
I won't do
very
another
alike then,
test.
huh?
Well, this is the last one. Like I'm not like you know what I mean. And all right, fine. I've had a chest X-ray done, and I've had,
I had him sonogram
an echo,
like
whatever.
all
one of them.
of my organs. I was like, dude, you just check these just in case. He's like, you are completely healthy.
I still want to do a full body
I'm like,
scan.
I don't know,
but I'm
They
nervous.
can't fit him into the
Again,
tube.
After he said
No,
you're
I-
completely healthy,
I'm nervous. At the
pain
end.
stopped.
Well,
It stopped. It went
I
away.
need a full body scan now because I think I have cancer, and I'm
where do you have
nervous
cancer,
to go.
Chick?
I think it's in here.
What, in the
I
side of your
get these
tip?
pains in my side that I don't know what they're from, and I've had them checked before, and they've been going on for 10 years. So it's obviously
That's a
probably an
long time.
anxiety.
That is a
Yeah.
long
But
time.
I've had them checked.
But it is amazing what your brain can do to not just convince you that you have cancer, but like to actually create pain.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, the second he said you're perfectly, I had him check everything.
But this thing hasn't gone
And
away.
this was I
'Cause I'm
paid
convinced to have
extra
it.
for like the full workup. I got
I get
blood
these,
work. I
like,
got everything.
cramp
I am perfectly.
I love
healthy.
it.
I am
You guys are having
perfectly
two
healthy,
different
right?
conversations right now. Chick wants us to. All right, Chick needs to be seen right now. Chick, are you having
Let me finish my
pains?
story. I've been on this in 6 months. Let me finish my story. I am perfectly healthy, and the second he said that, pain gone. Now your turn.
No, it's true though.
Talk about the pains, Chick.
No,
You need to get it out. Well, I've had these pains.
Chick has cancer for the last.
He's literally said the same time 8 times.
10 years.
because it's been going on for
All
so
right.
long, and I'm convinced
He's
there's
getting
something
it out.
there.
We hear you and we see you. You have pains. What is it?
Dude, I'm putting more money in my chick dies first
But
bet.
there was
No,
the other
he's
thing I
out.
used to get nervous that
Look at the side. Look at his pants are falling down.
He's sitting down and his pants are falling
Dude,
down.
whenever your
I'm
stomach
making
hurts,
Chick's
I used
anxiety so much
I
worse
heard-
right now.
there was somebody I don't know if I read it somewhere, I heard about it, that sometimes people who are about like having heart attacks, they always say if you feel like you're having a heart attack and you have to go to the bathroom, don't go to the bathroom because it'll like
You end up like Elvis.
Yeah,
I
that's
guess
right. It'll-
I don't know.
It'll be
So I always
embarrassing.
like, oh, maybe my stomach pain's really fucking. I'm gonna have a heart attack.
You have the
Dude,
accent
I
of
feel
somebody that has a
though,
heart
because
attack.
you sound like someone who has a heart
A
attack.
heart attack.
Like on a weekly basis. You've had like 3 triple bypasses.
I got that cardiac problem.
That I don't
You know when you
what it
take
is.
a shit,
I've
you
been
can.
eating salads. I don't know why.
Chris, you know what's funny about you? I remember a few years ago when I met you. You were, I think you might have even talked about it on this podcast. You said like you've never been to a doctor.
I don't go to doctors that often.
Well,
Now
now
we
you
know
do.
why.
But like because the problem is they psych me out. I get very nervous at doctors.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but in the past,
It seems like
year-
you're nervous before a doctor.
In the past year, I've been to 3.
I have to start doing
And-
around
and,
the doctors.
truthfully, like
Yeah,
one
me
of
too.
them I talked to, like he was great guy. I talked to him. He's like, you should just get a full thing, get a full blood work done. Like get it.
How many tubes of blood?
That was a lot.
Yeah, they do like 5 or
It was
6.
a lot.
Oh, I can't
It
do it.
felt like a lot.
Did you feel
it
dizzy?
got to the point where I was like, man, really? Still?
I want to get a full.
But I got a full
CAT
work. Like I'm
scan.
good. Like I'm
You're good.
a
I
relatively
mean,
healthy
you're
guy.
very healthy.
you don't live an unhealthy life either.
No, I'm pretty good.
I mean, and now you're European, so
I mean, if you're unhealthy, God knows what I am.
Oh, you're dead.
yeah.
No,
I do feel like
I'm
I'm just living on.
I am metabolically okay. And then I had this last guy like scan all of my organs, which probably gave me cancer.
Yeah, you
Scanning
probably got a
itself
little
Probably
something.
gave me the
Probably
cancer.
got a little something.
But
Just like a
like I'm
microwave.
good. So there's nothing to worry about.
I know. I feel
But you can worry.
You always worry. Exactly. Listen, man, I'm convinced
Are you? That
Yeah.
what?
that I got something.
What do you think you got? That thing on
Dude,
the
but
side
I'm
of
See,
it?
with you, but,
somewhere,
like-
cancer somewhere.
But see, I tell Kira this all the time too. She's like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "It's diseases, dude."
yeah.
I don't know what.
I got something.
I
just
don't
don't know
what it
yet.
is, but I'm gonna tell you right now, something ain't right.
Something's
Yep,
not right.
That's just something's not
Something
right.
Ain't right.
Something's not right.
I don't
you
know what. It's not fucking good.
I'll tell you
I'll
that.
tell you that.
You would have. I wish you were here for James, but
I
I'm
love
glad we
James.
do
I
it
was here
different
for
because
the
this is a
last
good
James.
episode.
Yeah.
yeah, but not though the James we got.
James is great, man.
James
He's
is
one of my
James
favorites.
That was one of
our
my favorite
favorites.
episodes in a while.
But you're here, healthy and breathing,
Yeah, I'm good. So, thanks.
and
We're
I'm
happy to
barely
have you.
breathing.
Love
but
you
I'm
guys.
here.
I love everyone listening. And
He's
I
gotta
love
make
you
it
guys,
about
and
himself.
I'm sorry that
I do. I always
that
have
I
to.
darted.
No, listen. It makes sense
Thanks
now,
for a
and
hell of a
it's
story.
It does. And this is the most open I think you've ever been on this podcast.
It's the most open I've ever been in my life, I think.
This is definitely the most open you've ever been, and this is probably people are going to be like, "Oh my God, that's just Chris," because they don't know you.
Yeah, no,
They know you, but they don't know
in
you.
this past year, I've tried to be just in life more open too, because I think
that's good.
It's a way to be. It's a good thing to be. I think getting things
I am
off
10
your
years
chest
younger
helps.
than you guys too, so it takes.
You are.
I
Wow.
have to learn things
Yeah.
But not even
that
you.
you
Also,
learned a while ago.
You're right. You're right.
you're at the age when I started my anxiety. Well, I was a little
Jesus.
younger.
Don't
I
tell
was
him that.
No, I was a little younger. I was 21. My 21st. It was my 20 when I turned 21.
27.
I'm just saying. I was in my 20s. From
But he
20
stayed home for like 5 years.
Yeah, it was like 20.
Yeah, he
it was like
did,
21 to like 26 until I, got out of it.
And now he's living.
No, and
Yeah, now I'm really living the
everything's
dream.
Really worked out. So
He's on a hit podcast. So
We had a work
Perhaps
Christmas
the
party
best podcast on
this
Long
week,
Island.
and I was the people I work with as like a whole
Crocs?
found out that I have.
Wait, hold on. Are you wearing Crocs?
This has
yeah,
been
he's
going on for
he's
a
a
while.
croc guy now.
That's disgusting.
It is
Yeah.
disgusting.
And they're a
but
terrible color.
Once you put your
Why are
foot
they
in a
tan?
Croc, because
Can I try them?
they were my father's backup Crocs, or not even backup. It was just a pair that he had that he didn't wear, and I needed sandals one day. And he's like, "You want these?" And I was like, "All right."
All right, I can see the appeal.
They're
They're-
very
they're-
comfortable.
they're very
I
comfortable.
told you, and I tell everybody, once you put your foot in
Why
them,
are they?
they're
Dad, this is
very
kinda
comfortable.
It is nice.
And I said you're never a Croc person
All right.
until you try it.
Nice. Fair enough.
I agree.
Take it back.
I have a pair of
They
Crocs.
don't look like they're going to be comfortable.
What size shoe are you? We're like the same
Like a
size.
9, 9.5, or a lot of things the same.
Weird.
You guys are very similar, it turns out.
Well, these are my father's, so these might be like a 10.
I'm an 11 and a half.
Oh.
I don't know what these are.
But
You know what's a bitch? Buying clothes in Europe.
Why?
skinny?
Shoes. No, no, I'm skinny. That's fine for me. It's the sizes.
I gave him the finger because I'm fat and it's
No,
tougher to
it's the
buy
sizes.
clothes.
It's like having to translate all the sizes.
Oh.
Oh, in Serbia?
Like these shoes. Like I love this is my 5th pair of these exact shoe.
What brand is that?
On. Swiss company. Running shoes.
They're a good running
I like
shoe.
they're a great running shoe. I ran my first 10K 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
You did?
Yeah.
That's good.
See, look at you. You're healthy.
Dude, things are going well.
He's doing good things.
Yeah. I'm a lot better now.
I'm so happy to hear
But
that.
as I was saying, I told
Oh.
people from work at the Christmas party that I finally that we do a podcast.
oh,
And
all
it was
right.
a whole thing, a lot of. Well, I was in the middle of saying it, and then I kind of got sidetracked.
I'm gonna keep sidetracking. I should just keep.
Just
butting
do it,
in
that's
with-
fine,
with
but I'll-
things that
Yeah.
have happened in the
I
last
know when
4
I get
months.
cut off, and I'm gonna go back to
I
it.
know you.
This
will,
is
but
what we-
that's kind of funny.
We
Yeah.
taught Chick. We're teaching Chick to keep a thought in his head for more than 10 seconds. Are you okay with your legs? What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. I was kind of just letting him
I
do
don't know
what he
what's
had to
going on.
do.
I can't bend it.
You all right? Chris is.
I hiked this morning, so it's
Oh, you hiked?
yeah.
Yeah,
Where'd you
so did
hike?
I.
I went to the high point in the Bronx.
Was
Oh,
that a
all right.
building?
It's my friend's birthday. He's into hiking.
Okay.
All right. I didn't realize you could hike in the Bronx.
Yeah, you can. Surprisingly, I didn't know
Alright.
that either.
All right. So tell us about the damn Christmas
No, I,
party.
I had nothing. It was the
There's
way the
nothing to
convo
tell.
was going. I was saying, it's done. Forget it.
Dude, what the?
It's a moot point. But I do have some picks.
Are
Got
we, are
picked?
we fast forwarding to the? Tell me about the Christmas party. How was
No, because there wasn't anything to tell. I was just saying how they all found out
So are they
that
going
I
to
do a
listen now?
it?
podcast.
Pete, what's going on with
They
you?
did, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Well,
Because
they're getting a rough first episode.
well, I don't know what you know. What my issue is,
They're actually getting a great.
I never know what episode people are going to listen to. When you go to listen to somebody's podcast, sometimes
you can plug into any of them.
you can plug in.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
200 and some, and some of them are awful.
You could plug
Some of
into
them
a
are
rough
good.
one.
Some of them have sound issues.
Yeah.
So I just have no idea what to expect. And that's kind of what I was. Although one funny thing at the party was
Where was the party?
I was sitting next to the owner of the party and had no idea who he was. Because
Owner of-
You were talking shit about the company.
I wasn't talking shit about the company, but I was talking like I was talking to the boys, a couple people.
It wasn't. It was
And-
bad.
And well, no, but I had like a couple of my closer friends in the company that I was hanging out talking to, and one of them, there was just a miscommunication of who I thought the owner was, and I had no idea it was the guy that was. When I mean sitting, I was sitting next to him like you, And like, I didn't say anything that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get fired, but I was just, having fun.
Yeah, but you're expecting a letter on Monday.
I'm just curious if it's gonna come back.
This is the owner of the whole.
The owner of the company,
So he's a big deal, right?
I
This is a
guess.
big
It's not
company.
a small deal.
But he didn't look. He looked like he was wearing a flannel and jeans. Like there was.
Yeah, he was blending in to spy on his employees.
Yeah.
No,
you ever
but
seen Undercover Boss?
everybody
That's
knew who he
right.
was, though. It wasn't like.
Oh, everybody but you.
Yeah, because I've never seen him before. The last 2 years, I got
So
hired
you've
during.
been there for a minute.
But so the year during COVID, we didn't have a party. The year after, I couldn't make it because we did our show, and I didn't go to our Christmas
Oh,
party.
that was the same night.
Yeah,
as the show.
so I didn't
Okay.
go to the Christmas party, and you never see him other than that. So now this was the first time I've ever seen him,
Right.
and I had people who worked there knew who he was. I didn't. The guy wearing the suit was the president, and I knew not like if I was sitting near him, I wouldn't have said anything.
He was in a suit.
He was in a suit.
Feel like
Yeah.
He was dressed like all of us. I thought he might have been a driver for all I know that I
Yeah.
just haven't met yet. So that was funny.
Where
They-
was the party?
well, we normally go to the stadium, the Red Bull Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
but this year I think each branch, this year each branch did it at their own. We did it at. They gave you money and we did it at the branch and we raffled off gifts. And
Oh, nice. Did
That's
you win
awesome.
anything?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you win?
Number one, you know what? This is actually gonna be very useful for my lifestyle. That portable multi-charger thing. It's like a charger.
Oh, I have one of those. Those are great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Those are life changing.
Yeah. I was pumped.
Nice.
So now I could charge my iPad, my phone, everything.
Guy's
you know.
always going to be charged.
Always gonna be charged, fully charged chick.
Fully
That's-
charged chick, dude.
that's
That's
fantastic.
awesome. I like fully charged chick. That's
Yeah.
a good name.
That'll be the name of my first.
That's
If I
his,
ever
that's
do
his
something.
spin-off podcast.
Yeah.
Fully charged chick.
Fully charged.
And it's just picks the entire time.
That's all it is.
Now I've noticed you're doing like 5 picks sometimes.
Oh, God, we
We
can't
just
stop.
don't.
So what's going on with that?
I was trying to do less, and then he's always said, "Just give us
I
the
have a
other
pick.
one."
for
What?
this week. I have a pick.
All
for
right,
this
well,
week,
let's
so
start with the
whenever it
picks
is.
then.
Okay. One of them, I was told to watch it, and I said I was going to, and I didn't get around to it yet, but I did, and it's very fitting for this episode.
He didn't get around to it, but he did. Huh.
Stutz or Stoots.
Stoops.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Stoops.
It's the
Stutz
one
sounds right.
with
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill, and he basically is
He's
doing.
gonna check his notes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I was looking at the name. He basically interviews and does a doc about his therapist that's helped him dramatically.
Oh, nice.
And it's a look, but it winds up, he goes into a little bit of his own stuff, but it's
Did
really
we talk about this on the last one?
once somebody brought it
Did
up.
James bring
James
this up?
brought it up.
Or
Is
I'm
this-
pretty sure it was James who
Is
brought
it
it
like
up.
Okay.
Goodwill Hunting-y, or is it more?
No,
realistic?
not at all.
Okay.
It's actually a really Jonah Hill was really good in it. I don't know. I thought he because he opens up a little. It was really good,
All right.
honestly. For if you listen to the depression episodes and you like them, that's
We have
something
like
you'll
a
interested in.
catalog of depression episodes.
yes, we do.
What we do.
We do.
We're like a good mental
We're a
health.
good mental health podcast.
Good. Yeah, exactly.
We should put
We should
ourselves.
shift our marketing.
Yeah, instead of comedy, we're
We should
mental
put
health.
Mental health podcast.
That's the move.
Could we do both? Mental health,
Mental health.
and a comedy
Mental
podcast. So is that one? Then I got Don't Pick Up the Phone. This is fucked up. This is a new.
I saw some of this.
This is a new docu-series on Netflix.
I haven't even heard of this.
yeah.
So this fucked up
It
guy,
doesn't make any sense to me.
it doesn't, and I don't know how it happened, but it
All right,
happened.
explain it, because
So a guy calls up. He was doing it for years.
McDonald's,
McDonald's,
fast food restaurant.
Taco Bell's,
It's
even like. No, it's a docu-series.
That thing is not right.
It is what it is.
I just wish you took the headphones off because it fucks up the whole flow when only one person could hear it and they say it.
I know.
But so it's a guy who's a cop, and no, there's a guy. I don't know why he even said that.
There's a guy that's calling up fast food restaurants.
Fast food restaurants. Okay, yeah, he's
And he's
calling
trying to
them
get
up
them
and
naked,
he's pranking
right?
them, and he's basically trying. He's saying that this employee stole from this customer.
He's saying he's the cop.
He's saying he's a cop.
I
That's what
watched 10 minutes of this, by the way.
No, because I was on the
Okay.
path of saying it, and you threw me off.
It doesn't take much to throw you off.
Oh, neither does it to you.
You're right.
It's exactly.
Go on, you dummy.
So He says he's a cop, and he tells them this person stole from a customer, and he needs them to do either bring the person to the station or do the strip search on the premise there. And the managers are and these people they don't want to go to the police station, so they all are saying like, yes, we'll do it here, and they don't realize it's not going to be just a regular. I'm going to pat him down. He winds up having these people strip all their clothes off. One girl he got to get spanked. One girl gave a guy a blowjob. Like, he was just sexually harassing these people through other people.
It makes no sense to me. How these people were like, all right, the cop said that I stole something. I mean, spank
Let me blow this guy.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I was watching it and I don't understand.
This is real though, or
no, it's
real.
real.
Yeah.
And like a couple episodes, like a couple people, a third party would walk in and be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah.
And ended it and whatever. But others, like one lady called her husband.
What was he a cop or he wasn't a cop?
I don't want to give up the ending.
Right.
Do you want me to tell you?
No, don't give up the ending because I didn't finish it.
I'll
yet.
watch that. That
Yeah,
sounds like
it is it's kind of really mind-boggling on how he did it. I don't listen. I watch a lot of these documentaries, and sometimes like, oh, I'm like in the situation. I could see it maybe.
Did you watch the Vatican one? The missing Vatican girl or something?
Yes,
that's pretty good.
yeah,
I didn't finish that. Well, how that was good.
It's an anticlimactic ending.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot of them are. They've 17 episode doc. You like give me an hour and a half,
this one was
2 hour
only
doc.
3.
No, but I'm just saying, like they put them in the
Well,
series.
they're just any true crime mystery. They just turn into a docu-series now. And you're
Yeah,
like,
why? Just give me a
Some of them
documentary
don't
though.
Need to be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just needs to be one.
Take off 2 episodes. You know.
Yeah.
Some of them don't
Exactly.
even need to be documentaries. It's like this is nothing happened here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like with the it's like the story's better at the beginning than it is when it ends.
The first episode was great, and then
it's like, oh, this is
They
awful.
hook you, and then you're like, yeah.
hook you to what? Like it's
That's why I don't make it an episode, like a 2 hour show, and you got
Wrap it up.
yeah.
Wrap it
You
up.
got me for 2 hours.
You got me, but yeah. So, but I don't understand how he did it either. Like,
Yeah.
I don't who believes a cop that doesn't even show up.
What was this called?
Don't pick up your phone.
Don't pick up your phone. Okay.
I don't. And honestly, I don't
that's
get it.
nuts, man.
It doesn't make
It's
sense.
so weird. Yeah, I want to go back and watch it.
But some of the people who were like the managers did get brought up on like charges and stuff. But I also like, is it a crime to be ignorant or naive?
It's not. But is it a crime to like defraud ignorant and naive people? That's the question.
That is the question.
When you're harassing somebody, when you're actually having them perform illegal acts,
Yeah,
it
then
is.
it is, right?
But
Yeah.
is it? What I'm saying is the person who's doing the illegal act under a false pretense.
Oh, probably. I don't know.
And they
That's a good
actually
question.
said, and that's the one good thing that the documentary
You're not giving away
brings
too
up.
much, so it's hard to tell what the situation. What?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the sexual harassing people. There's nothing that was that like rape.
But the fact that these people
Sounds
are
like
like,
But it
some
is
of
rapey.
It sounds like some of that it was rapey.
That's what I'm saying.
yes,
It's rapey,
it was.
but
It
it's
for
not.
sure was.
Yeah, I mean, it is rape.
But it's like what the people that
It's
were
like
doing this.
coercion rape. It's
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
But if
it's
you're-
using a false power to get somebody as a victim, like to victimize somebody.
That sounds like rape.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Listen, the guy that's making these calls is a psychopath. It seems like, but the people that are picking it up are like, oh, I have to spank her.
But it's someone's
What?
telling me you're gonna get fired, or I get it.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
But I've watched other documentaries on mine things where people who are good people would never do these things under certain circumstances. Could be
Right.
pushed to do unfathomable things.
I
that
don't
you
know.
would.
Yeah, I get.
And
I
everybody
guess.
says, "I don't know."
I
but under
guess-
the right circumstances,
That was like
almost
a big thing with
anybody
the
could do
Nazis, was
almost
that.
anything.
Yeah.
I just can't be. I can't imagine working at McDonald's and
Did you see
my
that movie,
manager
the
comes in.
God, the Stanford or Sanford
Yeah, the Stanford prison experiment. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah. That's a
great.
great movie.
And that's what I'm like. So
Yeah.
what they do is they take 10
Yeah, I know
people,
that
they
one,
make
yeah.
5 of them prisoners,
Guards
5
and
of them
5 of them,
guards, and they basically see how far people can go.
And they go pretty fucking far.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
done this with electric shock things where, so it's placebo. There's nobody actually feeling pain, but this person thinks someone's agonizing in pain when they press this electric thing. but because they're being told to do it, they feel like they have no choice.
Well, this is
And these people were like sweating, like didn't want to do it, but were still doing it at like death-defying like levels that would obviously kill this person. And that's the whole thing, that people who you would never think, even though they may internally, it may kill them to do it, under certain situations and circumstances, they'll do it.
Well, this shows what the mind can do. Chris was just saying how his whole kidneys were feeling pain. It's like your mind is very powerful.
That's
It
why
makes you
whenever
feel
I
things
would never. Those are the people I wish can get put in things and make them do it.
You know what, though? If I'm working at a McDonald's and the manager
This
comes in.
one's a little different, I feel like, too.
That's
but,
something I'm pretty clear. I'd be like, no, I'm all right.
Yeah, you know what? I can get another job.
But sometimes the people look at them with gloom and doom. People get fired from fast food things and come back and fucking shoot it up or whatever. Like,
I guess, yeah. Well,
that's what's a minuscule job to you. Maybe somebody.
No, and people need those jobs.
I get that. No, and
You know what? Like, they
hey,
may
those
not-
guys make a lot of money
and
these
some
days.
of them may be people who can't get other
probably do, yeah.
jobs. Like, who the fuck knows? But yeah, so that's actually a really interesting, and it's a 3-episode docuseries on Netflix. Last one. I didn't think I was gonna like this.
Oh,
boy.
We're on the
it's
edge
a
of our
plot
seats.
twist here.
He
No,
didn't think he
it's-
was going to like it.
Will Smith's new movie,
Emancipation.
Emancipation, just came in.
Was that good?
It came. I'm not gonna say it was that good, but it was very good. It was on Apple.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't get through it.
It's not an
Sounds
those.
so sad.
It was.
It is. It's a very sad and it's depressing.
It was just too long and like
but all
drawn
those
out.
movies are like that. Everything's too
I
long and
can't
drawn.
do
It wasn't
shit
drawn
that-
out.
It was drawn
I
out.
can't handle things that are that serious anymore. I don't think.
Well, that's the other thing.
I
He
was
doesn't
in-
like
no,
anything
no, no.
that's serious and long.
No,
and he
that's-
loses them.
That's not true. I don't watch any comedies. I watch mostly like stuff like that. It just there wasn't enough.
Ben
to-
Foster's fucking awesome in it.
Yeah. By the way, I always hated that guy.
Did you?
Always hated him.
He's been
I
one
know,
of my
he's a great
favorite
actor.
actors that nobody ever talks about, and he never gets.
Yes.
You would know him.
Yes, you would. Do you ever see what's the movie where they kidnap the kid and they wind up killing him? Fuck.
You know what? I don't like. He always plays creepy.
He was in
roles.
Hell or High Water.
Didn't-
was in-
Didn't see that.
I don't know. Ben Foster's the fucking man. What else was he in?
I hate that
oh,
guy.
did you see Lone Survivor with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg?
Yeah.
One of the guys. Which guy was he? He's one of the 4.
Oh, he's one of the original. Oh, okay.
He's one of the guys
sure
in
I would
that.
know him if
I
I saw
forget
him
which
then,
person.
That's
he
a great
played.
movie.
Yeah, he's
Skinny guy.
He's like the bald. Were they all bald in that? No, they had hair.
No, they weren't. Yeah.
He's a bald, skinny guy.
I'll
He's-
show you him after, but he's a fantastic actor. He was.
you know
great
who he
in
looks
that.
like?
Do you have a
his
phone
name.
that you could go online and look?
It's recording.
Oh, that's why I'm using mine. I can't do it. But basically, it's also a true story,
Yeah.
which is kind of crazy.
But also,
inspired.
Yeah.
Who knows how accurate it is?
I was into it, man.
That's why I was waiting.
I was
But anyway.
waiting. I want to. I was like, all right, I'm excited to watch this. For whatever reason, like the story. I thought
So
Will
the-
Smith
man,
is
it
The
great.
story
It
is
seems
basically
dark.
a guy gets sold. He's living with his family. I mean, they were slaves, but he gets sold to help build the railroad it's during the Civil War.
Okay.
So he's
Oh,
building a
during-
railroad for the Confederates.
Tough.
It's during the time where the Emancipation comes out, where they free all Southern slaves to, you can go to the North and be free and fight and whatever. So he basically escapes where he is, and he's trying to get back to his family. And that's and he's being chased by Ben Foster, who's like,
And he's got to go
evil-
through the
the
swamp.
evil slave
Pretty
master. That's why I don't
That
think
sounds
it
like a
was
good
long
movie.
drawn out. It was really good, I thought. And it's not. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I don't
It's not
mean
like it's
long.
3
Like
hours.
it just. I don't know. It didn't hit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Though.
It's
Some
in
movies,
black and
they-
white too,
they're
which I
good.
actually thought was pretty
It's in
cool.
black
I
and
like black
white.
and
I like black and white films.
I like the way it looked. I liked everything about
I'm
it.
iffy on that.
And I thought Will Smith was very good in it.
He was.
And he's been on. Not a lot of people love him right now. I think this is going to help bring him back.
I don't think it will. By the way,
It shouldn't
I
because
don't
he
think
did
it
what he
will
did.
either, yeah.
did you guys see? Speaking of the Will Smith thing, Chris Rock is doing a special. It's going to be live on Netflix. First live comedy special on
Live
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And
I've
from what I
heard
hear,
I've heard he's
He's
fire.
killing right now. Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
even hear that.
I've heard he is on fire.
Yeah.
Right now.
Is he just like back, like doing, or is it because of what happened?
Apparently, this is the best material he's had in
I
20 years.
Yeah, I think he's been.
I
doing,
haven't heard that. That's
the
fantastic.
tour.
Yeah.
His tour started right after that whole thing happened. It's not a special about that slap, but I think he's probably got.
He's got to touch it.
He has
now.
like a 5-minute thing on it. Maybe
I think it's going to be the
couple
best
minutes.
ever if he never talked about it, and then now is when he does it. Is on his special.
Well, that's what he's
He's
doing.
a
Yeah.
genius.
And I think
Everybody's going to tune in, whether they like him or not, to hear what he says
Yeah.
about it,
Tune in.
even if he doesn't.
I think that's a really interesting way of, first live comedies. So you're going to be able to tune in that night and watch it live on Netflix,
crazy.
which is
I didn't even know Netflix could do that.
that's a first for me.
yeah, it's the first time. Yeah, it's the first time on Netflix.
That's
at
awesome.
least. So yeah,
So yeah, but that
I listen. It's worth the Emancipation is worth a shot. It didn't hit well with me. I don't know why.
those movies aren't always. Listen, they're not. They're tough watches.
But
too.
those movies I like. I tend to
So do
enjoy
I.
those
You
movies.
gotta be in the mood for something like that.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think you have to be in the like. You can't just be like, oh, you guys want to watch a movie
It's like
tonight
watching Hotel
and watch
Rwanda.
Emancipation.
It's
But dude, you know what? I turned the lights. Like I got ready for this.
You have to be ready to tear it out a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
And this is also which I
horrific.
didn't know. You know that famous pit? There's a famous picture of a slave with his back all whipped. Like they did it for that purpose to show,
It was from that guy.
basically to show the North what slavery was like really about. Because a lot of people didn't really understand what was going on, and it's this guy's back, and it's just like tore to
His
shreds.
name is like
from
Peter
whip.
or something like that.
Peter, yeah.
You've definitely seen.
I
The,
promise
the
you, if
image.
you saw the photo, you'd be like, "Oh wow, I've seen that in history books or something."
Yeah, it was
You've
definitely
seen
it was definitely.
Yeah, because I remember seeing the photo and it was of him, like he's the guy.
Will Smith is great as usual. Though.
he is a good. I mean, he's great in those serious roles like that.
You kind of lose like the thing that's so great about Will Smith watching this. It's like you're not watching Will Smith.
You're not.
You're like
you
oh
lose that.
you
You're
lose
not-
you lose
He's
who
like
the
that
guy
with
is.
everything.
Will Smith
Yeah.
is a slave.
You never watch a Will Smith movie and think of in Fresh Prince like he's a good enough
Yeah.
actor where
Yeah,
he's, thank God. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, those are my picks.
All
That
right.
was only 3. That was on there. It was gonna be like next week. I wasn't gonna do it. Did you like it? I thought what I was telling people who I, friends who've asked, I said
What is Bullet Train? I don't
it's
think
the
I've seen
new movie. It's a wannabe Quentin Tarantino type of movie. As far as like,
touches of the Japanese kung fu movies.
yeah.
Cool.
It was a very entertaining, fun movie to watch.
Okay.
It's not serious.
There's action. It's got.
Yeah,
There's
and
a whodunit thing going on.
yeah,
It's
but it's nothing like you don't have to be. You're not confused on the plot.
it doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it was
I
a really
kinda
fun
like.
movie. That, like, if you're like, I want to watch something, I don't know what. Like, that's a great movie to watch.
All right.
But yeah, because I love Quentin Tarantino, the fact that it kind of reminded me of his bothered
It
me.
bothered
Who
me.
was the
To
guy?
me,
So for me,
it's like
I'm
a
not crazy about
B-list.
Brad Pitt. Not nuts about him, but
It's a typical Brad
I
Pitt.
heard
like,
so many good things about this movie. I had to watch it, and I really enjoyed
you
it.
know, I agree with you on
It's a
that. It
fun
was a fun
movie.
movie. That's
Yeah.
exactly how I put it.
All right.
I said it wasn't great, but it was
No,
very entertaining.
It's not winning any
Good enough.
awards, but it is.
Yeah,
a
it's not gonna.
fun
Yeah.
movie, man. Good movie to watch.
Like that's a movie. If you catch it, you could watch it at any point, probably because
You
it's
could.
entertaining.
That's
I could
Netflix?
watch it again tomorrow. Like it's kind of.
Yeah.
That's a Netflix one.
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Is
Just
it?
came out. I'm pretty sure it
saw it on
was.
the plane. I'm not sure where
Double
that
check.
came from.
Make sure that people get the right places to watch these. Yeah, it was on Netflix.
Great movie.
So those are our 3 and 4th pick.
All right. I like it, guys. Well, listen. If you made it this far,
It's a Saturday night. It was a lot of fun.
this was nice. It is a
Which is-
Saturday
To
night.
me, weekends, which I consider Friday, are fun for me to record because I don't have to worry about wanting to go home. I'm not doing the podcast
I was
hoping
yeah,
to
you
be
pushed
home
it back to 9
because I don't care. I have nothing going
on.
on tonight. I could stay up till 7 in
was
the morning
shocked.
watching shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You should
Like-
probably sleep.
My biggest what I'm saying is like during the week I want to be in bed by a certain time and I want to also watch certain shit.
You gotta
so
get
it's
your
like
shows in.
I want to be done at an early
But tonight
time.
you're good.
but now I don't give a fuck because I got nothing to do tomorrow.
Good.
Nice.
All right.
So if you
No,
made it,
okay. Oh, well, hold on. Before we do that, World Cup final.
I hope Argentina and Messi win.
I think
He
Messi,
wants France.
I think Messi needs a win.
Who do I think wins? I think it's going to be a very good game.
I'm happy with either win. 'Cause
I'm not.
I do like France.
I
but,
don't like France. I like
I'd
Mbappe.
love to see Messi get a win.
They're so good, France. They really
They're
are,
so
and
fucking
they
good,
already
dude.
have a lot of people.
They won
who aren't
last
even
time,
playing.
right?
They
Yeah.
did, yeah.
They're the
They're
defending
so
champs.
good, man.
They're missing a few guys.
They would be the first double win.
It's
in
funny. I don't think
like
of
40
France in
years or something like
soccer.
that. Oh, jeez.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't. But
They've always they
Dude,
won
you're
in.
nuts.
I didn't know they were that.
You're out of your mind. They've always been good.
Oh, I know.
No, I'm not like. I'm saying they've always been.
PSG is like the most valuable team on the planet.
The French league
player-wise.
isn't a big, great league because it's really just
It's
PSG is a couple
PSG.
teams.
Maybe that's
Yeah,
why I
but-
don't think of it.
Yeah, but it's really just PSG, but not even that. It's just the leagues. Their league isn't the best, but their national team is always good.
Correct.
Yeah. So, yep. If you made it this far, guys, Chris, I'm glad
Great
you're
to have
here.
you back.
Good to be back.
It's so good to have you.
Glad you're
back,
able to
man.
come back.
And you're back for. We have you for a couple weeks now,
Yeah,
right?
until the
January. All right,
All right, guys, like us, review us.
and we'll see you soon.
reviews.
No, they won't.